Hello everyone and welcome to the Chassis Variant series. Once again, here we are with the finale of the Vulcan mechs we've been watching chronologically, and this one will be rendered again slightly differently, and I'm still trying to find the best one. I think my 5S video had the best. It didn't have the ghosting, that's for sure. This one shouldn't either. So here we go. The Vulcan 6M. This is actually, by Battletech's world standards, actually incredibly rare. About 30 of these mechs were built before the plant that constructed them by Nimakachi was taken over or destroyed, and the majority of these mechs fell into the hands of the much later Word of Blake forces, which obviously don't really have any representation in MechWarrior Online. The reason this mech was added is because it uses some of the post-Civil War equipment. So we've got a light Gauss rifle and an ER medium laser, and it still carries the old machine gun and flamer. Can't lose that in the Vulcan series. It's kind of its signature thing. So yeah, this aside, that the match is full of all kinds of fuckery. It really doesn't go well. The one upside about this one is this is your ballistics model. So if you want a Vulcan that is going to carry a lot of machine guns, or you know, a 40-ton, it's a struggle to say like, oh, you know, mount a bunch of AC2s or something. It's really not feasible on this mech. It's clearly the number of hardpoint inflation for ballistics is definitely to incentivize some kind of machine gun heavy loadout, and this is definitely the one to do it. It has 4 hardpoints and 2 energy hardpoints, so ballistics is the way to go with some very minor energy backup. So maybe a couple of large lasers, large pulses if you can squeeze them in, with some machine guns and a boatload of ammo so you can just keep firing all day long, and a good engine to get you around behind enemy mechs, and at least to be able to get yourself out of trouble quickly. And there you go. The default loadout for this actually comes with an XL240, which isn't a bad engine type to have. The XL series works quite well on the Vulcan because the side torsos don't get popped that easy from my experience so far, unless PGI have since made any changes from when this video was made. The light Gauss rifle, it's a gimmick on this mech, but it really isn't that effective. Light Gauss rifles, much like light PPCs in the game, definitely need to be used in bulk to start to see any real effects of this weapon type. Otherwise, you're basically just looking at plinking away at bigger mechs, and yeah, you've got some very good range with your light Gauss rifle, and obviously no heat, but you need to take in a hell of a lot more ammunition for this thing, because it has 2 ton, which gives you about 40 shots, which seems like a lot, but light Gauss rifles fire quite quickly, and 40 rounds will dry up very fast. And that leaves you with a single ER medium laser and a flamer and a machine gun. It isn't great. So yeah, if you do want to stick with the light Gauss rifle, definitely look into dropping the machine gun and the flamer to give yourself a little more weight for ammo, and maybe come up with some kind of backup weapon from there, because yeah, as it is, it's not my favourite build. I might have said this about the 5S. What I like about the 6M is its ability to carry such a weapon, because if you like your Gauss sniping, it's a novelty to have it on a 40-ton medium. So I say 40-ton medium like there's a 60-ton light, or there's a 100-ton light, you know, or a 100-ton medium. No, 40-ton medium mech. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that side, it's okay. It's not bad. For anyone who's interested, the colours I painted this in, by the way, are the Knights of the Inner Sphere from House Marik. That's what my 5M was painted in. So I forgot the symbol for the Knights of the Inner Sphere on the right shoulder, and they're supposed to be white and gold, but since we don't have metallic paints to buy in MWO for reasons unknown, despite the fact they're there, there are some hero mechs that have them, and certain camo schemes apply a metallic effect. We can't buy metallic colours. No understanding why. I would love to be able to have a House Lao. I can't remember which house within Lao have them, but they have all gold mechs with black trim. They look so ostentatious. It'd be so much fun running around, and they use things like captured bushwhackers and stuff that they paint in these really glaring gold colours, and it'd be so much fun to have that in the game, just like metallic mechs. This was the beginning of the end, really. It's like the Jaeger mech pilot I couldn't help because he kept crossing my line of fire, and I couldn't shoot the bloody Cicada, so the Cicada ended up... I think he got 2 kills before he dies, because I think he gets this Marauder. Oh no, he doesn't now. He did do a lot of damage before he went down, though. And obviously, that's the problem that this mech's got, is in close, the most I can do is I can just heat someone up a bit. If they're opened up, I can do a bit more internal damage, but yeah, default-wise, it's not great. It's more of... This is definitely more in the harassment role. I could see this being useful in matches of faction play, where you want to be sort of finding targets and sort of hitting them at extreme ranges and then moving around and probably feeding teammates over the comms information about what you're seeing. But as a mech that can brawl, it definitely can't do it. A mech that can kill, it's going to struggle. Which is why, yeah, they've given you the 4 hardpoints on this one. And I imagine you can come up with some fantastic builds. In fact, if you have been running around the 6M, what is your build with this, with your 4 ballistic hardpoints to play around with? Because I bet you it's quite interesting to see the kind of things people have managed to squeeze out of the old Vulcan. Because 40 tons, I think, has been a much maligned weight class, or weight number within MechWarrior Online. 45, 50, then 50, 55 is very popular. 40, we don't have a lot of mechs in that range. You know, for the longest time we only had the Cicada, then eventually we got the... obviously the Assassin came along, and now we've got this. You know, 45 tons isn't the most popular either, but 45 it always seems like, you know, it's a bit tankier and the such, but 40 always... I guess a lot of people always seem to refer to 40 tons as lights. A lot of people always refer to Cicadas as lights because it's only 5 ton more. So they're so close to the light category, but they're not that far into the medium. But that's one of the reasons I like the 40-ton category, is because it is quite flexible. Great speed with slightly more armor and weaponry than your average 35-tonner. Is an example when it can get kills, either when it's distracted or when the guy's got nothing left and you know, it's just like a few shots and he dies. I pick up 2 kills right at the end of the match when they're pretty much dead. So if you want to look like you're achieving something in the game, hide until the end and then find someone who's nearly dead and then kill them, and then you can look like, well, I helped the team, look, I got 2 kills. So this one is about to end. You can already see it. It's written in the stars, and this other Vulcan pilot, I think quite fitting that a Vulcan takes out a Vulcan in the end. There I go. As I fold over myself, that looked quite cool. And then the Irby dies straight after. So that ends the Vulcan series. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you when the next chassis vids are up and running. Thanks everyone. Bye.